This 1902 Hart-Parr has been sitting in this barn for 120 years.
There it is, buried under decades of hay and rust.
The owner's family has had this tractor since it was new, 1902.
Every inch is corroded. The engine hasn't turned in over a century.
He's letting it go, not for the money, but because he knows it deserves another chance.
A handshake and a promise to honor what his family built.
Sometimes letting go is the hardest part. Now, it's time to bring this piece of history back from the dead.
Let's see what we're dealing with, front to back.
The engine is completely seized. Not a single component will move.
Out of the darkness, into the light. Careful, slow. The tires are completely rotted. Cracked rubber that's been here since the early 1900s. And here's the worst part. The frame has rust holes completely through. "120 years of sitting, and let's see if this thing will even move." Now we need to get this onto the trailer and hope the frame holds together.
Strapped down, ready for the journey to the workshop. Three hours to the workshop, where the real work begins.
First, we unload it safely without destroying what's left of the frame. We'll anchor these straps to the frame, what's left of it. Time to tear it down. Every single component needs to come off.
Now we work from underneath, removing the pistons from below.
Here we go. Decades of grime coming off in seconds. With the last bolt out, let's see what's underneath. "120 years of dirt comes off first. Ooh, let's see what we're really working with. This is it, stripped down to nothing but the frame. Every single component removed. These body panels, we need to decide what can be saved and what needs replacement.
One final pass, washing away 120 years of neglect. 8 bolts hold this engine cover, each one a century-old challenge.
These rocker arms haven't moved since World War I.
Oh. This tire is completely rotted. You can see through the cracks. The cylinder head bolts. This is where things get serious. First, we soak every bolt with penetrating oil, and they've been frozen for over a century. Pushing the piston up and out, hoping it's not seized in the cylinder. Yes! Three more wheels to go, all in the same terrible condition.
The moment of truth, separating the head from the block.
Completely stripped, just an empty shell of an engine.
The crankshaft journals, checking for wear and polishing smooth.
New head gasket and bolting the cylinder head back on. Before paint, we need to protect this bare steel from rusting again. Those old wheels and tires, time to come off.
Hours of grinding, removing rust from every surface of this frame.
The fuel tank. Let's see what 120-year-old gasoline looks like. Oh God, that's bad.
Cutting steel patches, each one custom fitted to the frame holes.
Drilling out the broken bolt, carefully so we don't damage the frame threads.
Before we can repair the frame, we need to treat all this surface rust.
Welding it in. Bringing this frame back to structural integrity.
Even the destroyed tires need cleaning to see exactly how bad they are.
With that bolt out, the panel finally comes free. Test fitting each patch. It has to be perfect before welding.
Seven more patches to go. Every hole in this frame getting repaired. These side panels haven't been off since it left the factory in 1902. With the pistons out, the crankshaft is fully exposed. That's it. Every inch of surface rust removed. Now we can see what we're really working with.
Installing the crankshaft back into the freshly machined block.
The hood and cowl panels will remove everything down to the bare frame. This is the critical moment. If the frame fails, we're done. The valve cover is next. Let's get access to this valve train.
Now for the push rods. Each one tells a story of wear and neglect.
The engine is out. Now we tackle the frame and chassis. Welcome home. For the next 6 months, this is where the magic happens. Three more pistons to go, each one worse than the last.
Getting under the frame where the real corrosion is hiding.
All the bolts, nuts, and small hardware going into the tumbler for hours.
The operator's seat and controls, the last things to come off the frame.
8 head bolts, following the proper cross-pattern sequence.
grinding the welds flush, making the repair seamless. Nice and smooth.
Now we can finally see what we're dealing with, and it's worse than I thought. These cylinder walls, over a century of corrosion and wear. This crankshaft weighs over 80 pounds. Ooh, it's coming out now.
Installing the new pistons, carefully sliding them into the freshly honed cylinders.
Under these lights, you can see just how bad the damage really is. Let's see if these bolts will even move. That's it. Frame is structurally solid for the first time in decades.
New pistons sized for the machine cylinders and fresh piston rings.
Now the real work begins, cleaning and assessing every single part.
The main bearing caps, the last thing holding the crankshaft in place.
Now the real work begins, cleaning and assessing every single part.
Look at this. The rings are completely worn and the skirt is cracked.
While the frame dries, the engine block is getting machined.
The connecting rod caps, held on by nuts that haven't turned since 1902.
These pistons are caked with carbon, scrubbing off 120 years of buildup.
Now that the rust is gone, we can see exactly where the frame needs repair. New reproduction wheels and tires, exactly like the originals from 1902. The engine block is caked with oil, grease, and who knows what else.
Self-etching primer, chemically bonding to the steel for maximum protection.
Installing the painted panels, bringing the tractor back to its original appearance.
Fresh fluids in every system, oil, fuel, water. Getting ready for the first start.
Clear coat for protection, then it needs to cure overnight. Original Hart-Parr green, bringing back the authentic factory color.
While the chassis is together, painting all the body panels.
New wheels going on, and first time this tractor has had good tires in over a century. The heavy rear wheels, ooh, these weigh over 100 pounds each.
The rebuilt engine going back into the freshly painted frame.
The finishing touches, seat, controls, fuel tank, every last detail.